Hello, today is Monday, February the 17th, 2014, and here are your top announcements. First of all, happy birthday to River Nardestein, Taylor Brown, and Anna Rigsby. They've all had birthdays in the past 3 days consecutively. None of them shared a birthday, and that's always a good thing. These crazy glasses. No, I like it better with them on. I don't like how I look with them on, but I like the way the world looks because they're to protect my eyes from the dangerous computer rays. I'd like to wish congratulations to Breanne Davenport. Bree was selected to the 67th Annual 4-H Congress of Tennessee. Huge honor. It's not like everybody's doing that. Like I wouldn't. I was in 4-H and I didn't do that. But Bree's a big wheel with 4-H, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite was. So I wish her well on that, and I hear she might be running for Speaker of the Congress or Speaker of the House. Master of the House. So good luck, Breanne. I just sang a show tune. I don't even know why. I don't even like show tunes. Benchmark test. Sorry. Benchmark tests are this week for those enrolled in English 1, 2, and 3, Algebra 1 and 2, and Biology. If you're enrolled in German, do you have a benchmark? No. If you are enrolled in art, do you have a benchmark? No. Okay, so we're clear on that. Happy President's Day. So who's your favorite president? Well, I posted some of our favorite presidents. Polled the staff here, and just about everybody got back to me, except for Lindsay and Gina. How dare you? You see a lot of people pick Kennedy. 3 people picked Kennedy. Miss Fine's from Boston originally, so of course she picked Kennedy. The Kennedys are big wheels up in Boston. Miss Gray did because of President Kennedy's work with civil rights. Mr. Pauly said he liked Kennedy because he was a ladies' man. I think he was just kidding, but that's what he said. I picked FDR because he led the U.S. through the Great Depression and most of World War II, which is, kind of like FDR did it all. He handled the domestic side, and then he handled the foreign side, and I don't know. I mean, I'd like to pick from, but it's hard to pick, somebody like Jefferson would be my first pick, but, slave owner, so kind of don't want to pick him. And then I love Harry Truman, but he, dropped 2 nuclear bombs, and so it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. Miss Gregg picked James K. Polk, which you never hear anybody pick that, but she cited his humility in leaving office after 1 term, because he could have gone for 2. Mr. Blevins picked Bill Clinton because his last name is Clinton's first name. Scott Lamy picked George Washington because he reminds him a lot of me. Miss Blair picked Ronald Reagan because of his work with Russia during the Cold War to kind of end the Cold War, and which thus eliminated communism in the Eastern Bloc. Misty Sweat picked Lincoln because he's a great man. Coach Taylor picked Lincoln because he killed all of his vampires. And Mr. Dodson picked Bill Clinton because of the huge surplus at the end of his presidency. All right, so let's get to our thought for the day. And who's your favorite president and why? I want to know. Respond on Facebook or send me an email or on Twitter. Thought for the day, no turtling. What's turtling? Well, turtling, like I always learn a lot when I talk to Mr. Lamy, and Mr. Lamy brought up the fact that a lot of you kids like to turtle. And so what is turtle? Turtling is when you get overwhelmed by a subject or you find a subject really hard, and instead of embracing that challenge and really going for it, you just kind of shrink back into your shell. And you kind of disappear. Like some people actually do indeed totally disappear from school. We have no idea where they are. Can't get them on the phone, can't get them on email and everything. That's becoming very rare, especially with kind of how hardcore we are with truancy. But, some of them do it in another way. I mean, they'll just kind of just stop doing their work, and then all of a sudden you call them and I know I haven't done anything in 2 weeks, and then the problem has gone from this size to this size. Had a little problem with math or something, then didn't do any work for a week because you were overwhelmed by it. So now your problem's this big, and then you don't do work again for another week, and all of a sudden it's this big. And then another week, and it gets this big. So really what you're doing when you do that is you are making a small problem a huge problem and an insurmountable problem. Some people call that, um, I forget what they call that, but basically it's failing on purpose. Um, there's this notion, and it's a human instinct that we have to overcome. Some people will try something and succeed. Other people will try something and fail, and then other people will look at, if I don't try it, then I cannot fail. Because I didn't fail that class because I tried and failed. I failed that class because I didn't do anything, and so therefore that's better than trying and failing. Like the human mind somehow makes that into not a failure. It's sort of like, well, I'm not going to be like somebody who can't bake bread because I'm just not going to bake it in the first place. I just don't. That's what, if you ever know the celebrity cook Rachel Ray, like one of her famous things she always says is, "Oh, I don't bake." Well, it's not because Rachel Ray can't bake. It's because she doesn't bake, and it's because she's not good at baking, and so she's afraid. She's such a great cook. She's afraid if she tries baking and fails, and that makes her a failure. It's all wrapped up into your esteem and all of that stuff, but it's no excuse. And it's a bad way to live. It's better to try and to fail than not to try at all. I think that's like a famous saying. I don't know. Oh, it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all. And it's the same thing. It's the same. It's almost like an agoraphobia. You know, if you're afraid of going out and being among the people, it's like you're afraid of going out and failing a subject. So try to wrap your mind around that. If that's the behavior you're exhibiting, you've got to overcome that. You have to. Have to, have to, have to. You can't live your life afraid to try something because you're not going to be good at it. Or afraid to try something because you know you're not good at it. The only way to get good at things that you're bad at is to try them, to practice them, to work on them. And school and life are a lot of work. They just are. It takes a lot of work to be an educated person. That's why there are educated people and not educated people. Those educated people were not born with an education. They worked for an education. People who aren't educated, they ran from an education. So just think about that. It's a pretty good thought for the day. It was awful long though. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for tolerating my crazy Gunnar glasses. If you spend a lot of time at the computer, and I know you do yourself a favor and try to catch Gunnar, Gunnar glasses on sale at Amazon, because they really do help with headaches and things from staring at a computer screen for a long time. And also take frequent breaks and walks and go out and enjoy the sunshine. Hope you guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.